with stuff that anyone can get a hold of, like foam board and hot glue, and still make a crazy project. So I am building my custom landing gear from random parts from Hobby King.
Oh, sweet.
So there's, because they actually have a lot of like oleo struts of different sizes and like actually really beefy all metal retracts, servoless retracts.
I need to order some metal, a substantial pair of retracts for my Durafly Corsair because I'm tired of breaking the stock ones.
How big is it?
It's 1100 millimeter.
No, weight.
Oh, wait, I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
The one that because I don't know how much my project will weigh yet, but it's likely going to be more than 8 kilograms.
Well, my Corsair is not even close to that. It's like, probably not even an eighth of that.
Yeah, okay. Well, then you probably don't need the one that I found because it's good for 10 to 12 kilogram airplanes.
No. Those might in themselves be heavier than the airplane itself.
They're not that heavy. They're only 177 grams.
You can't even buy the replacement retracts anymore, at least not on the Hobby King website under parts for it. That's a shame.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's a discontinued model now, so.
Oh, wait, I need to go put something in my background. I'll be right back.
Pat, is that like a Christmas-themed bushwhacking in the background?
Oh, that's no, that is fluorescent green and fluorescent orange. Those are actually both engine paints.
Okay.
For the bushwhacker, yeah. Yeah, I wanted it to be bright.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you wanted, I guess. That's
yeah, it's you can see it in the air. There's no issue there.
That's better.
Oh, is that the F5?
Nice.
Huh? No.
Hey, guess what I have in the background?
Oh, that's the X29.
That's the X29, dude.
29. There's an X29, and there's an X29.
Where's the F5?
Yeah, right.
Hold on, I'm gonna go grab it.
Yeah, and that's got my new sticker on it too.
Oh, you got stickers.
You got stickers?
Yeah. I made a new avatar, like forum avatar.
Be right back.
That works well. Will work better as a logo for my drawings and stuff. Dan Spawns actually helped me get second eyes on it. And so it's pretty fun. So then I went to Cafe Press and ordered some stickers.
Yeah, absolutely.
There it is.
Yeah, it wouldn't fit on the rack with the like this tail.
Oh yeah.
Couldn't fit on the next one. I still haven't made it, which I really have to do.
What does it weigh? Do you know?
The 5? No, but I can weigh it.
Wait. If we're.
Oh.
What are you doing, Pat?
Wait till Patrick gets back on here because I'm gonna holler at him for a minute.
It's sitting at 625 grams without battery.
600 grams.
Yep. A little bit over 600.
Cool.
There, as long as we're all putting stretch build EDF jets behind us.
Well, I can't do that. And Pat, I'm gonna holler at you.
21 ounces. That's pretty good.
Well, you got your RC After Hours shirt on, and you know we're competing with them tonight.
I heard they're doing it.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
I don't know what's up with that. From my understanding, it was Andre's fault. Andre Rousseau's for. I guess he had a bunch of people up. I guess Louis Cerruti went up there, and
cool.
Yeah, there was a couple other people went up there, and I can't think off the top of my. Of course, Martin was there and all that.
Yeah.
We should just merge into one giant
No,
chat.
here's what I think we should do is we should call them simultaneously. Like, okay, there's 4 of us, so we can hit Mike, Chris, and Andre with a phone call all at the same time.
Oh, absolutely.
Even better if someone else had to hack into their computers and just like
that would be
their
awesome.
systems.
That would be fantastic. Podcast, that would be fantastic.
Are they live right now?
I don't know. I don't think they are right now. I think they're starting at 8.
Well, we're starting.
Oh, they may be starting right now. Yeah, we probably need to get started anyway.
Yeah, we do.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do this. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce, get this show on the road.
No, this is an old one. Okay.
Yeah, let's get 5 seconds of silence starting right now at 5, 4, 3, 2. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the FliteTest Community Podcast. This is episode number 36 with Andres Liu and Ben Harber filling in for Joel Cannon. We've got Patrick Sean Murphy with us, and of course, I'm Mike Finley. How's everybody doing this evening?
Doing good.
Good, man.
Good. Glad to have Andres. Great to have you on.
Thanks,
Ben,
man.
great to
Glad
have
to
you
be
here. We do miss Joel, but glad to have you guys here, and can't wait to talk to you about all the great stuff that Andres has had going on over the summer and what he's got coming up. Looking forward to it.
Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, welcome, guys. Andrew, great to have you. Ben, I am really happy that you're here to hang out because I know you'll be able to generate some good conversation with Andres, who I'm pretty sure he'll rule the world soon. Andres, what year of school are you in, Andres?
I am a junior in high school.
Junior in high school. Okay.
About that.
What's that?
Is it bad that I have to think about that?
No. Well, yeah, at your age it is bad that you have to think about that. Sorry, at our age, it's normal.
It's par.
Yeah. So, Andres, we like Mike said, we want to talk to you about your experience at FliteTest, the internship. We'll get to that, but okay, so we've established you're a junior in high school. Now, you first kind of were featured in a FliteTest episode a while back. Is that a couple of years ago now, or how long's it been?
Let's see. That was the P38, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, that was the first one I saw.
P30. Yeah, the P38 I think was right about a year ago or a year and a half ago. I think because it was at the 2016 NEF event in Akron. We went to that, and I brought my P38, and that was actually before the P38 was complete. It was barely flyable. I got it done like literally the night before the event. Doing the finishes and touches to actually make it fly. But
yeah,
I got it
and
done.
The thing is, I mean, it's spectacular. It looks fantastic.
Nice.
And the thing that stands out to me was you even went down to the detail of having the Fowler flaps on it. And then you were talking about, all the calculations that you had to do. And, what were you, a freshman in high school then?
Something like that, yeah.
You need to calm down a little bit, kid. You're a little bit out of hand here. Because, there's a lot of people that have been in this hobby for a long time that aren't nearly as talented as you are at building. You are very, very talented. I admire what you've done quite a bit.
Oh, just come out and say it. You're just jealous.
I have a crush on Andres. I know he's underage.
Yeah, the Fowler flap, that was a cool touch. I really liked that you went there. But obviously, as we've established, I'm a sucker for mechanisms. So that was a cool thing. And the fact that you did it from one servo, you didn't go complicated. You actually worked out a real mechanism for it, and then still kept the whole thing. The rest of the airplane, you kept it light. It still was basically a giant ultralight, which is pretty awesome.
The whole thing, I never weighed exactly because I can never find an accurate scale that went down that low. But it was definitely under 3 pounds all the way. Like an 8-foot wingspan
with
that was
battery?
a pretty good wing load with battery. Yeah.
And what was the wingspan? 8 foot, you said?
Yeah, a touch over 8 foot.
Yeah, that's some good wing loading.
Yeah, the power flat mechanism thing. Looking back, servo for one whole side of the wing, like you said, so 2 servos total. Pretty hectic to do, and it took a while. And looking back, I would have done some few things different, like the actual torque rod thing that I used to move all the mechanisms. It was made out of music wire. It was pretty thick music wire, but it was still music wire, so it's not quite that strong. Looking back,
So
I probably used carbon fiber or something.
Portion out of it.
Yeah, like it torques a little bit when it's not.
Yeah, it would twist.
Yeah.
Well, especially over that distance, you're gonna have You're gonna have that. But yeah, I wanted to ask you about your process on the X29. I know you said that you kind of saw what I did with the F5, and that gave you some ideas. But you did a lot of unique things just on the X29. I mean, the nose is different. The way you've angled stuff, and come up with different things. Like, at what stage did you bring it sort of to FliteTest, and then what did you work on over the summer? Like, what did you have to refine, over the course of that?
Yeah, good question. Well, I started working on it only like 2 weeks before I started working at FliteTest, so I probably built a week or two before, and then cranked out version 2 right after, just fixing some bigger things that I wanted to change. And it really didn't change too much from the first version to like the 6th version that we finally came out with. Little things that we tweaked, but overall it's pretty much stayed the same. And what you were talking about with your F5 being the inspiration, that was actually a pretty huge part of it. Like, I didn't look much into the how you put together the F5 and the A4 as a whole that kind of sparked the idea for the X29. So that was really cool.
Well, and that, honestly, I mean, from what, I don't know how much you know about the X29, well, although now that guy posted in the forum, that gives us a lot of other insights. But the X29 literally did use the F5 forward fuselage and nose and canopy,
right.
In
like
its
F16
build.
landing gear and stuff.
Yeah, F16 landing gear, F16, or no, F18 engine.
F18 engine, yeah.
And
yeah, actually, the guy
computers, which I thought it was really cool.
The person you were talking about, actually, that posted on forums under the name of X29, his name is Glenn Spaked. He told me how to pronounce it. I'm pretty sure that's the right way.
Okay.
He sent me his email through a personal message on the forums.
That's
and
awesome.
We got to talking a bit. Wow. Like, he just had a fascinating story. Get into a little bit of detail about it, but it's amazing, what he did.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, when that guy posted up, I think everybody was definitely a little, not sure. Like, skeptical. Okay, they're definitely skeptical. This guy said, but then Dan Cruz went on and he did that moderator stuff, and then I went on and did the same stuff, and it's like, oh, yeah. Oh, his name is this, and you search his name. Oh, he was quoted in the New York Times as talking about, that's the dude. That's pretty impressive, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real deal.
Heck yeah.
I mean, he worked his way up to being, I believe, the vice president of Grumman at one point.
Oh, my.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Well, that's got to be a pretty big honor to have somebody like that actually call you out, on something you designed on a foam board in an EDF,
Yeah, and he was sharing the stuff about the I forget what it's called, but where the wing, when you're going at high speeds, like the tip of the wing wants to twist upwards.
Mm-hmm.
Then maybe you can help out with the word.
Well, it's not flutter, but it's this aeroelastic.
Yeah, something. Yeah, let's see.
Because yeah,
But anyways,
the forward swept wing, as it flexes, it makes more lift. It's going to want to bend and diverge the wrong way, which is
divergence. There we go.
Oh, okay, that's the word. Okay.
Yeah, he was talking about that with the full scale X29, and he said in the email he hopes the divergence speed of my X29, the foam board version, as can do with 4-cell EDFs. I thought that was pretty funny. If there's anyone that would exceed that speed, it's you, bro. So.
Hey, so far I have not found the upper limit for this thing. I've pushed it to almost 115 miles an hour, and that's still on 4-cell. So I know there's a bunch of guys on the forum that have been asking, and also on my videos that I posted on my YouTube channel, they've asked, like, will it work on 6-cell? And I'm like, I don't see why not. I mean,
yeah. I
put a 6,000 milliamp 4-cell in the nose, so that'll fit. So you could put a 4,000 6-cell and probably have room.
Yeah,
and that would probably scream.
That would be rip.
That would be scary.
That would be a lot of fun. And I did too. The other great thing about it, I mean, it is still, even without canard control or even the strake flaps, with just elevon control, it still slows down to very controllable low speeds. I was able to, to have an airplane that'll go a speed range from, 35 to 40 miles an hour, controllable low speed, up to over 100 miles an hour. That is a pretty solid, speed range for an RC plane. There's not a lot of planes that can
that's a great flight envelope.
Span that, that speed. My A4 can slow down to probably about that. It's got a little more wing area, but that on that same setup, it is not going to go 100 miles an hour. It's just fat.
Yeah. I didn't even realize that the X29 could slow down so well before the actual episode that we shot for.
Oh, yeah.
With the limbo. Actually, really.
Yeah, the limbo challenge was awesome.
Yeah, that was so much fun.
And you guys probably were flying even lighter than I was, so you had even better low speed performance. What battery were you flying in that demo episode?
That was, I think, around a 4,000 4-cell. So it was definitely lighter than your setup. But the EDF is also a lot less powerful, so we had a better low end, but not as good of a high end. The episode, I think. I think the pusher with the Power Pack C actually went faster than the EDF. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So here's a question that I got for you, Andres, is how did you get started in the hobby?
Yeah, I thought that question would come up.
It always does, man.
About 6, 7 maybe years ago was when I actually got started in the real RC hobby. But back before that, loved planes. Never take my eyes off the planes going above me in the sky, whatever.
Yep.
Yep. Had all the little Air Hogs toys and everything when I was little.
Yep.
I was maybe 9 or 10. We drove by a local field that's not even like 10 minutes away from me, and I saw these bigger RC models flying. We stopped by to check it out. So we got the club information, everything, and then we went to that the club held. And one of the guys at the club actually let me fly as Night Vapor. So that was kind of the first real, I guess, RC plane I ever flew, even though it's still an Ultra Micro. But from there, I begged my parents to get me real Flite. I was generation 5 for Christmas that year. And 2 months later or something, got my first plane, soloed second flight, which I was pretty happy about.
Absolutely.
So, started from there.
Wow. So you were like, what, 5 or 6 then?
That would have been about when I was 10.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding you. You know that. But,
always got to rip on the young guys, right?
Oh, hey, I got to show you the shirt I got on. You got to see this.
Never.
Hopefully, you guys can read that.
Well, I'm going to be wearing that shirt one day, huh?
Yeah, that's what you got to look forward to, Ben.
Yeah.
Andress.
I have the same shirt. And
Might as
you
well
and I
pre-order that
definitely,
now.
we definitely owe Sharon a picture with those together.
Yes, we do.
Yeah,
You
we
left
do.
before it happened to Flite.
I
Test,
know,
so.
I know.
Yeah,
But
that's
hey,
all right.
as long as we're showing off shirts,
Yeah.
so a shout out to our friends from RC After Hours podcast.
Yeah, the coordinated turns.
My coordinated turn shirt.
OG FliteTest shirt, huh?
Okay.
Actually,
Oh, nice.
OG 14, but the 2014s were super uncomfortable.
Yeah, they weren't real comfortable, were they?
Yeah,
No,
remember like the weird fabric?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they switched from that. But
Oh,
I'm not wearing the
Matthew Allen is asking if you're in the FTFC 18 World War II Design Challenge.
wait, what? Now so many letters.
Out on the forums, there's the FliteTest. I think it's the Flite community. Is that right, or
Probably.
or
I
fan
think so.
community, or something like that?
Yeah.
They're doing a World War II Design Challenge. I think
that's
that's
cool.
the one that Joshua Orchard kind of started. I think.
And that's for FliteTest
Well, he
18.
kind of passed it
Yeah.
off, actually. To,
Who's doing that now? I'm not sure.
I don't remember, but
Yeah, I
someone
don't
else.
remember either.
Someone else is spearheading it. Yeah.
That's interesting because I was just about to start on a P40 design.
Oh, well.
So maybe. Yeah, we'll see.
Well, so you'd have to pick a different one because the one of the requirements is airplanes that did not see service.
You know what? I appreciate that little detail. I actually do because there's some planes like the Mustang, Spitfire, whatever that just get built too much, you know. So I actually like that.
Like one of the ones that I forget, I don't know what the name of it is, but Josh Finn is doing one, and there's extra points for collaboration. So he's collaborating with someone else, and they're building a mothership-daughtership combination.
No way.
So yeah, it requires 2 users. It's pretty cool. You should check it out.
Nice, I will.
So
This is on-
it's the never seeing service. Is that a real requirement, or are you just with Andrew?
No, that's serious. There's someone posting about it in the chat right now. Service or
That's
combat.
awesome.
They've got a whole set of requirements written down on the forum thread. It's really well thought out and really cool. The idea is to try and get people to make stuff that you wouldn't normally see, and to then by virtue of that to then bring to light a bunch of designs that wouldn't normally be seen by people and wouldn't even be known about.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then it's also kind of a fun challenge to make some weird stuff that isn't in the norm.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, like X-29s.
Yeah.
So if it's all combat in the service in World War II.
Yeah, it's a little after World
I
War
just screwed that whole thing up. Yeah.
So, Andress, do you have like a go-to plane that you like to fly, or like if there's a day when you can get out and go flying, is there something that you're always going to grab and take with you?
Yeah. Honestly, these days it's the quads.
You heard me.
Sorry, Pat, but just on any regular average day, 10 minutes, 20 minutes to fly, I'll grab a quad. Just FPV it up in the yard. But if I had to choose plane-wise, the Arrow is probably one of my go-tos for sure. Let's see. This Crack Yak used to be my go-to, but it's about 5 years old, and it's super beat up.
Okay.
It doesn't even fly in a straight line anymore.
Crack Yak is.
But yeah, I'd say the quads.
I'm impressed that you have a little foam plane that's actually 5 years old, because I don't think I have any more than 5 months old. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we got another question from
My planes just don't last
from
that
the
long.
chat.
Yeah, mine don't usually either.
and I don't know who Mr. Pickles is, but he's asking.
Hey, Mr. Pickles, what's up?
He's asking. He said you use a CAD design when designing the X29. Can you tell us a little bit about what you used?
Yeah, so I used AutoCAD 2016 for the X29. It's just a pretty straight up 2D CAD software. It's free for students too, which is great because I didn't have to pay for it.
And teachers too.
Yeah.
Cool. So free for people with education, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, Josh uses CorelDRAW, which I just don't understand. I tried using it once, and it's just so counterintuitive.
Yeah, it's
for using it for.
Corel is terrible.
I mean, it's a graphic design program.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's I can't do anything in SketchUp because it's just too freeform. I can't wrap my brain around it.
I can't wrap my head around how you use CorelDRAW for that. That makes what he does even more impressive.
Yeah. No, but Ben, I was watching your computer screen earlier with you designing the Valkyrie. Shouldn't I have said that? Okay.
I'm just kidding.
All right, well, pretend I didn't say that. Or cut that out. I don't know. Anyways, what program do you use?
I use a program that is not free, so I don't usually. I don't know. I try not to make a point of it, but it's called MOI 3D. MOI stands for Moment of Inspiration. It's a $300 CAD program, which sounds like a lot in the scope of powerful 3D modeling programs. It's actually a very good deal. But there's other, like Patrick, you're saying that Fusion 360 is another good option. I haven't tried it, so I don't know how it compares.
It's free.
Yeah. The thing that I liked about MOI 3D is it shares a lot of, like, I don't know how to say it, but it shares a lot of tools and components that mirror and mimics some of the stuff that I do in my day job. So it is a lot easier to use for me in the way that my brain works. And you can actually do a certain level of what you call parametric modeling, where like if you draw a circle or an arc or something that has a radius, you can type that radius in, as a number. And then if you take that arc and extrude it or mirror it or do other kinds of operations, as long as you don't cut that geometry, if I go back and I change the radius of that arc, everything that I created off of that arc will update. And
so it has like trees.
Yeah, it has some tree memory to it, to a limited extent. And it'll do actual true curves, which is they call NURBS type operations. So it's not a polygon-based modeler like SketchUp or any of those.
Nice. So, yeah, I was just wondering because I saw how you do your plans for your planes, and to just go from 3D and then take almost a skin around the form to create the 2D model is pretty cool. And honestly, it would have saved a lot of time doing that on the X29 because of all the curves.
When you did your X29, where did you start? I mean, if you worked only in 2D, so you worked from drawings of some kind and drew it in 2D and then sort of unfolded stuff from there?
Right. Basically, I just looked up a 3 view from online, and they used that to trace out all the profiles top and side. And then from there, I kind of had to match them up and figure out what the cross-section would look like, almost. And then take the cross-section and then put in the curves and the angles I wanted to, and then make a 2D model out of that. It was a very weird sort of series.
I can only imagine. Yeah, that's. Oh, we lost Pat.
Yeah, I lost Pat again.
Oh, bummer.
That happens.
So yeah, my process, I that's one of the reasons I like working. I mean, I work in 3D all day long, so my brain just goes there, and being able to put a 3 view in 3D space, you're still doing the same thing. same basic process that you're working out, but you can actually model the, you create your side view, top view, front view,
Right.
but then you can actually create the geometry inside of that and do all of the weird, combination angles. And then
Right.
from there, unfold it in 3D space and then flatten it out.
Yeah, see, my problem was that my laptop, it just could not handle any 3D CAD, so I was limited to 2D. But now at
Got
least
it.
I have access to, a bit of a better computer that can actually run Fusion, so that's what I'm using now.
Cool.
So, Andres, I'm sorry, Andres, because
Dude,
we all got your
actually,
name wrong
I have a little story about that.
lay it on us.
The first whole month I was there, and honestly, like, I talked to everyone in the shop, and we were just going to keep it going until the end of my summer there, and then I was going to tell him how to pronounce it correctly on the last day, but someone messed up and said my name correctly, so he caught on. But
It was probably
it took
Stefan.
a long time.
Yeah.
It might have been. I honestly don't remember. He always said Andres.
Yeah. Well, we know so many Andres, and then look at your name, and that's just how it happens.
Right.
Yeah.
It's understandable. Yeah.
So, Pat, you were going to actually ask a question, though. What?
Yeah. So, what are your plans after high school? What are you going to do? What is your aspiration in life at this point?
Really, I just like to work at McDonald's. That's like
Awesome.
a dream job for me.
You should consider the Lowe's paint department.
Is that a lot better?
It's a good time.
Pat's enjoying himself.
I am. I'm having a good time.
And,
Pat really just wants to know
Honestly-
when he can come work for you.
Yes, yeah, right. When are you going to hire me to actually be in the aerospace industry? I mean, I have a degree in mechanical engineering, so I am of some value. I just need somebody to hire me, and you need to hurry up and get your PhD and own a company
Yep.
so you can do that.
Oh yeah. We have to hire
Get on it,
Do
man.
all printing for you.
What are your plans, man? What do you want to do? Do you know?
First of all, college, of course. Continue my education, but after that, do something in aeronautical engineering.
Okay.
Like, I know that's what I want to pursue. I'm just not exactly sure the field of that I want to do. Which I was actually talking about Glenn about that. The X-29.
Mm-hmm.
And he gave me some pretty insightful advice, which was cool, considering that it was from the former vice president Grumman.
Yeah,
That's pretty wicked awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Now, Ben, is your
Well, yeah.
degree in aerospace engineering or aeronautical engineering, or is you
Actually, no. I got my degree in mechanical as well.
okay?
I just grew up around airplanes, like everywhere. My grandfather was a flight instructor. He taught my dad to fly. My dad was one of my grandpa's first students, and I was one of my grandpa's last students. And my mom has her license, and my dad worked on the C-17 program. So I kind of was doomed to be in airplanes at some level.
Oh yeah, that's just such a terrible thing to be doomed to.
So, I mean, even in my senior project for my final design course in college, I convinced my whole team of mechanical engineer students to build an RC plane as our senior design project.
Awesome.
Nice.
And we built the worst ducted fan flying wing ever. Because, mechanical engineer brain, especially an early student version of the mechanical engineer brain, if you have one ducted fan and you want to have more thrust, you get two ducted fans. And if you want less drag, well, you just put them right in front of one another, and the first one will blow more air into the second one. And that'll make the air blow faster, and it'll work great, right? No, it's not how it works.
Oh gosh.
That's
So
hilarious.
thankfully, we got like a 10-knot headwind on flight day, and we got a professional like pilot to fly it so that it wasn't resting on my RC skills. And so it actually got off the ground and had enough thrust to fly, and it flew, and it was fine. But I mean, it was two 55 millimeter ducted fans in line, and they made total. It made 1.5 pounds of thrust installed, and the airframe weighed 6 pounds.
How did that even take?
So it taxied around a little bit.
I mean, well, flight weight. I mean, that was including batteries and everything. So, I mean, it was, yeah.
So what, you get unlimited vertical out of it?
Yeah, as long as it's going down.
But it flew once and only once, and it never flew again. And yeah.
But you graduated.
But I graduated, and then I went on from there, and I know a lot of the reasons why that barely flew and why all the things that we did on that program were such a terrible idea. But but yeah.
That's funny.
If I could give you, Andrus, one piece of advice that I told a bunch of people at FliteTest this past year, when I was in school, I did mechanical. I had a buddy who was mechanical and aero double major, and I thought he was nuts. And now I'm kicking myself for not doing that. So I'm not telling you to go and double major and kill yourself. But if wherever you go has a course load that overlaps in such a way that it makes it not a whole lot of extra work to get a double major, consider it. Look into it, because that's a useful thing to have a more breadth to your skill base.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Okay, I got a couple of things for you, Andrus. The first one is a guy named Delta Dart that's watching right now. He said, "Come on down to the Bell Flight Test, man. He'd love to give you a tour if you're interested."
Cool.
So there's an invitation.
No, like the people that make the helicopters?
I'm guessing.
Yeah.
No way.
Well, there you go. And then the
Arlington,
second one,
Texas, he says.
Yeah, that's between Dallas and Fort Worth.
Yeah, there you go.
That's where Bell is. Yeah.
Stays warm down there.
I just need to build an RC plane to fly me down there,
Yeah, there you go.
That's transportation.
And then I have a question about, they're asking, Matthew Allen's actually asking if we can talk about how canards affect flight characteristics over the trailing wings at some point.
All right. Honestly, maybe the better person to talk to this about, but the most time though, at least from just the X29.
I was just going to say he.
Was it?
No, go ahead. I was just going to say he talked about some good stuff. So go ahead.
Yeah, the canard directs airflow in such a way that it gives the wings more control. I guess it's to be honest, I'm not that well versed in canards.
Let me see if I can pull up the X. Oh, let me see if I can.
Well, that's okay. I mean,
comments.
Well, I mean,
because he had some good points about it. I mean, in the main advantage that canards will have is, I mean, for the only reason you're going to have a canard is if you have a main wing, that's not a normal forward wing. Well, that's not entirely true. Other airplanes have them too. I think they're mostly useful for high alpha and low speed handling.
Low speed, high alpha. Normally, that's what I thought, but
yeah,
I'm not a.
Yeah,
I guess especially.
I think in terms of like a high performance aircraft like a fighter jet, the canard is more of a control surface than necessarily a flying element. Yes, I mean the CG is such that the canard, I'm sure, supports the weight of the nose if you were to look at just like the forces acting on it. But I think that probably the main advantage is it's far out front, on the nose, and well, I guess that in a conventional airplane, the tail's way out back, so you still have the same, moment arm. I don't know. I know that in terms of canards in general, like if you go back to the 70s and 80s when Rutan was, doing his thing with scale, which eventually became Scale Composites, he marketed it as being a stall-proof airplane because the canard would stall prior to the main wing, and when the canard stalled, the nose automatically dropped. So theoretically, you could never stall the main wing. If you ever did get in a situation where the main wing stalled, you could be in some trouble because you get into a deep stall and then weird things happen. But in terms of
especially, I was just going to say, especially because the full scale X29, the canards were controllable, and on the computer that it had, the flight computer, and it had the strakes at the end of the plane. If you look at an X29, you'll see that the wing kind of doesn't end back towards the tail, and those pieces are controllable too. So both of those things help with high alpha in the full scale model. And I guess that.
I'll post a link in the YouTube chat here to the X29 guy's comments directly, because he has a. They won't let me post a link.
No, you can't put a link in there.
Oh, sorry.
For whatever reason.
Well, maybe I'll give it to you for show notes or something. But in the X29 thread, on page 2, he talks about the canard and the wing are aerodynamically coupled. So when the canard lifts, it deflects air flowing toward the wing down. Downwash strikes the wing and reduces the lift on the inboard end of the wing. So you have a nose-up moment generated by the canard lift and a corresponding nose-up pitching moment from the loss of lift on the wing. And he said this, I'm just quoting him, if you play with the math a little bit, you'll find out that because of this coupling, the pitch effectiveness of the canard is independent of where the CG is. And that is a pretty powerful thing that they discovered. He talks about it more. I definitely recommend going, for people watching, go read that thread and read that discussion. It was very counterintuitive to them, and it was a cool thing for them to discover. And the effectiveness that the canard will give you for flying wing designs. I mean, like, you've basically set your X29 up like a flying wing. You just have elevons on the trailing edge of the main wing. As soon as you deflect the trailing edge of your main lifting surface, you are changing the lift capability of that surface. And so you're changing the lift response and the profile and everything. The advantage of having a canard is that you can tailor your wing to make the kind of lift that you want, and then you can leave the canard to do the controlling. And so that's other things that you can play with. So that's one of the advantages of having a canard. You can have a pitch effector, you can have a pitch control device that doesn't affect the wing lift of your main lifting surface.
Yeah, see, I guess this is why I need to go to college, because I did not know this stuff.
You'll learn it. Alrighty. I don't have any. You guys got more questions?
I hear the crickets.
Yeah, so
I'm looking to see if they have anything else. So, Pat, if you got something.
Well, can you talk about a little bit about your experiences as an intern during FliteTest? What were some of the, is there anything that stands out to you as, holy crap, that was cool, or anything that stands out to you as, wow, that was really stressful? Any of those moments?
Okay. Cool, the whole thing. I guess, especially just the atmosphere there, there's never a down moment.
Okay.
Really. Stressful. Some parts of that FliteTest build which were pretty stressful. It's just we were trying to get quite a bit done in a pretty short period of time, and especially like Josh and a bunch of the guys were out for a build, so I was kind of chugging along alone there for a while, but that was fun. The flight test, or the build at FliteTest of the FliteTest plane didn't go quite as well as we thought it would, so that was a little bit stressful too. But It was a good experience, pretty fun, really rewarding. It definitely go down though, as quick as it did. But.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you guys kind of had it was just it looked like the whole, not in terms of the design of the plane, but the location of the platform and the wind direction and everything just kind of went against the whole Flugtag idea. You had a tailwind, didn't you?
Yeah, we had about a 10-mile-per-hour tailwind probably. So even with the guys running as fast as they could, the airspeed of the plane was probably close to 0.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. There were a couple of things that were working against us, though. First of all, we didn't quite nail the CG. Actually, we were too not tail heavy, nose heavy.
Yeah. I was.
And,
Yeah.
Josh and I talked about it.
Yeah. That's what I wanted to ask you about. If that was your design location, or you guys changed in that moment because you felt like you just had to lawn dart the thing, get out there as far as possible with that tailwind.
See, now, okay. Well, Josh and I talked about, we thought that a tad bit nose heavy would be better, so that you could get the initial swoop off of the flight deck and then level it out, to get more speed and more distance. I think our biggest failure was that we never tested the CG with Stefan on the plane. We only tested it without, and then estimated where Stefan would go. He underestimated the weight of his legs because he was sitting pretty far.
With his legs forward.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you do it again next year, cut them off.
No, he just has
initially
to sit cross-legged.
No, he'll just have to lay flat next time.
Yeah.
But we initially wanted him to be a little bit further back, so he was sitting kind of in between the two wings. But he ended up being a lot closer to the forward wing, and his feet were actually the two elevator seconds. And that only happened because really convenient spot to put him, because right under him was the huge dowel we put to test the CG, which is ironic because we did. In front of his feet was this slanted part inside the fuselage that we put in there to help with the torsion. Pretty much perfect, so that he could rest his feet on it, and that'd be like a solid point. So yeah, that was pretty unfortunate. He was full off the elevator off of that ramp and still just goes in.
Well, I think given the tailwind, you guys had nothing to work with anyway. So you're coming off that thing with 0 airspeed. You might as well have it nose heavy and just keep it moving forward as much as you can, forward and down.
Actually, Josh said afterwards that tail heavy in that case would have been the way to go with the tailwind, because if you think about it, with our Canard, it's going off the rim because of the tailwind, and then all that wing is going to catch the wind and basically push the thing forward.
Okay.
And then if the nose comes up, the wind will just catch on the canard and push the nose down. So it actually would have worked pretty well if it was more tail heavy, or if we had the same CG but we had a 10-mile-per-hour nose wind. That would be nice. But because the team that actually had to put theirs from just a completely normal aeronautical standpoint, responsible, but I guess for Flugtag, it was pretty good because it had like huge cords on the on both wings, and the front, the Canard was actually full flying, so their elevator huge. Tailwind situation, that was an advantage because they had normal pitch control, whereas we had too little in the tailwind.
Okay.
Well, the bigger thing that's going on there with tailwind versus nosewind is really just something that you said before, is your relative airspeed. And what you have with a tailwind is just a lower actual airspeed over your wing surfaces. And when you have a lower airspeed, you just want all of the wing area you can get. And more wing is better, and a more neutral CG, which means more tail heavy than usual, will balance easier, because then you don't have to trim out the lift with your elevator surface. So that's why, yeah, big fat chords and big, canard surfaces, just lots and lots of area. I mean, that's why it's the same reason your P-38 flew so great, because it had a really, really low wing loading.
Right.
So, what are the constraints? It seems to me like it's a little in their rules. They get a little tighter in terms of wingspan, or
Right.
I don't know if it's max weight, or the deck gets lower and lower and lower. I guess the lawyers are always whispering in their ears or something. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different constraints. There's like wingspan, like you said, length of the plane has gone down over the years, and a big part of it is just that we're doing this in the U.S. and in Europe, I've heard still have closer to the original constraints. So they have 30-foot wingspan and like a 10-foot higher of a deck or something.
Yeah.
So they have a lot more room to work with.
That would be
But
nice.
our constraints.
Yeah, the U.S. is pretty happy if somebody gets hurt.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. And more than likely, they're I remember when the Flutog started way back, it was mostly just a bunch of crazy people that made like chicken suits and all kinds of crazy, and just jumped off the platform more than anything else. So it was more of a spectacle than it was.
There was one guy.
There
was one guy that made a 5-foot chicken wing thing that he jumped off with. It was pretty amusing.
Yeah, and that's kind of how it started. I think was mostly just, how crazy can we get? Red Bull, gives you wings. Has been the whole thing forever, and I think that's kind of where it all started.
Yeah, and I'm sure you guys have seen the episode where they went skydiving with the Red Bull Air Force, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, it was. I was there with them. I was pretty salty. I couldn't go.
Yeah, I bet.
Part of it, is because team last year. So I'm not one of the people skydiving. But I found out that even if I would have paid for the skydiving, I still wouldn't have been able to go because you have to be 18 to go skydiving.
Yeah, you have to be 18.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a disappointment. I think it's just the fact that I was there and I watched them do it. But yeah, it was all the guys and just seeing it happen. It's really funny seeing the guys getting dressed up, but man, envious.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, that had to hurt a little bit. Yeah. So, is there? Do you have any other airplane designs that you're working on or thinking about right now?
Well, the P40 I was talking about.
Okay.
I'm tweaking the micro cracking a little bit. Hopefully that'll be a kit soon.
Micro cracking?
Actually, micro crack. Well,
Yeah.
Mini micro.
With the
Using the Gremlin power.
Gremlin power.
Gremlin.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I got it to all fit on one sheet of foam, so that's cool. But anyways, I'm also working on a 1/3 scale 7 for next year's NEF event, which is the same event that I flew the P-38 at and the 109. Working on that over the winter. Hopefully throw like a huge team motor. Fokker D7.
Oh, okay.
World War I biplane, yeah.
You broke up just a little bit when you said it. So.
Yeah, so that should be fun.
Yeah. That sounds fantastic. Now, it's held in Akron.
Akron, Ohio. Yep.
Yeah. What? Where's it held at? Is that the one that's held in the golf thing?
I think you're thinking about Horizon Indoor.
Oh yeah, that's right. I am.
This one isn't like a field house sort of thing. It's like an indoor football field with a track too. So it's a pretty decent sized space. Yeah. It's an annual event. Last year they only had it for one day, which was a bummer. But this year I heard they shut again.
Okay, good. Yeah, maybe I'll be in the area when that happens, and I can come by and see.
Mike's flying out to Akron tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Actually, yeah, no, it's been pretty good going out there. At least I get to see everybody, and everything. But man, I tell you what, it's been it's tough not being at home.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But, yeah.
So, Andrus, was it tough going back to school after spending the summer at FliteTest? I mean, it had to be, right?
Yeah. Well, it was and it wasn't. Like, I missed it so much. I was really glad I didn't have to drive, anymore, because I live about 40 minutes away from the shop, which that was a little bit rough, just commuting every day, I guess. But everything else was like.
What town do you live in?
Kent, Ohio.
Okay, Kent.
Okay, yeah.
And then what sucks is the golf course they're buying and moving to is even farther away from me, so I'll have a next year.
Yeah.
I think maybe we just had an announcement made on our podcast, because I don't know that that's even public knowledge at all.
Well, he's talked about that he was wanting to do it. Hasn't happened yet. But they've been talking about it. They've talked about it on their own podcast.
Okay. Good. Or man, I
podcast named like we're buying a golf course or something. Right?
Oh, really? See,
yeah.
I gotta start listening to the podcast. I watched the vlogs and the episodes, but I haven't really listened to the podcast except for one the other day.
Yeah. Well, we talked about it when I ate dinner with him Monday, and I can't really say any more about it other than we talked about it. And
gotcha.
They're still trying to get everything organized and finalized. Let's put it that way.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Well, I hope it works out for him. It's
I do too.
It's a beautiful property.
The plans that Josh and Jen have got for it are pretty amazing, and hopefully it all works out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really cool. If that
I haven't seen it in person.
If that comes through, Andrus, you won't need to drive. You just need to bring a tent.
Exactly.
You know what? That's true.
Or a
You're
cot
gonna be
you
the-
can stay
you're gonna be their
in the
first
offices.
Right.
Just camp out there 5 days a week,
There you go. Oh, you'd be pretty well taken care of if you're out there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So now, Ben and Andrus, you guys have both. I mean, you guys both design EDF airplanes and Josh has talked about, wanting to get a supplier and provide EDFs. Do either of you guys have any idea where that stands? Is there is an EDF power pack in the works, or do you guys don't really know about that, or what's the status with that?
It's definitely in the works. They are still trying to nail down a fan from Motion RC.
Yeah.
They really like working with MRC, and so they want to work with them. And I'm actually trying to get a hold of some of those units so that I can help test them out and sort of compare, because I've flown many different. Not that I'm the only one that's done it, but I guess they're a popular fan because they're rarely in stock, so they're hard to get a hold of.
Okay.
But hopefully that would change if they end up, making that the power pack. I'm sure they'll figure out how to get that, as something that's more reliable to get a hold of. But that's where it stands, I guess. That they haven't announced anything and they haven't told me anything, so I'm not holding anything back.
Right. No, I was just wondering
it's
where that was at, because I mean
I'm still trying to wrap up, refine my A4, because I'd like to get that on their list at some point as well. And which is something Josh still also wants to do. It's just a matter of, you know, making time for stuff. So
understood.
Yeah, it's all still rolling.
Cool.
Oh, guess what I bought today, guys?
Is that media? What is that? Is that one of those slingshot
You know
things?
what that is?
Oh,
You
those
like
are
ripped your thumb apart with one of these.
Yeah,
I did.
Yeah, and it's got the little LED on it and everything. So, yeah, I bought a whole pack of them. So I got plenty.
Were you guys the ones that were like throwing them around at FliteTest that one year?
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
So I'm taking that as a yes then.
Could be.
Okay.
We got some more questions. Matthew Allen is like full of questions for you tonight,
That's
Andrew.
good.
Yeah, absolutely. He's wanting to know if you race quads or you just out flying around, and what's your favorite part of flying the quad?
I've been to one race, and it was a lot of fun. The only reason I haven't been to more is just because, you know, time.
Mm-hmm.
You have to like plug all your packs in the morning, and then wherever it is, and you come back. It's just a little bit more time than I want to spend on it right now. Next year, though, I definitely want to get into the racing more, and at least, you know, go to some local races on the weekends and stuff.
Sure,
it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Kind of hang out.
Like,
With
I love doing
and
freestyle.
Matt.
Ian is man, he's a fast pilot too. Jeez.
Well, Matt's not a slacker either.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He's got one of the angriest quads I ever heard in my life. Pat knows that quad.
Well, yeah. I mean, so was it Matt that was flying that terrifying sounding thing at Josh and Jen's that night?
At Josh and Jen's, yeah.
Oh my God, that thing was just, it sounded evil.
Yeah.
It was scary. I wanted to go run and hide when I heard it.
Yeah, it was pretty.
And these maniacs, I mean, these two guys. I don't know what it was.
I don't know if he might have been flying on 5. It was 4 or 5.
Yeah, I don't know, but man, it sounded beastly. And it was like dusk. I mean, the sun was below the horizon, and it's getting darker and darker out. And then these two guys, Ian and Matt, they just freaking pop up. Boom! They're flying through the goggles, and they just disappear over the horizon. I don't know how they had videos. They're just gone.
That's awesome.
I mean, out of there. And then all of a sudden, it comes screaming back through. It was one of the, it sounded so cool, man. It really did. It was so impressive.
That's wicked.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive. But
they were just gone, like gone. You couldn't hear it anymore, and they're over the horizon. How do they have video signal? I don't know, because I'm sure they're flying on 5.8 because you know it's a little tiny antenna.
Yeah, but they're probably using some of the long range stuff anyway.
Maybe that's it. I don't know.
600 milliwatts. I'm not sure.
Yeah, diversity.
Yeah, TBS has got one that's 800 now.
Oh
yeah.
Fry your brains.
Yeah.
So,
what's your favorite part of flying the quads?
Favorite part of flying in terms of like style of flying, or just?
No, is it the FPV part, or I mean?
For sure, the FPV part. Yeah. Like,
yeah.
The line of sight is fun. And I do it occasionally, but if I'm flying quads, 99% of the time it's FPV. You know.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I mean, it's just a whole nother perspective of the whole thing.
Yeah. You got any favorite pilots?
Can't really get it in any other way. It's a tough one. I don't really follow a lot of people anymore, like closely. But I have to say, I really like Johnny FPV's flow, his style.
Yep.
It was really nice. Jordan Temkin and Moke, like they do some flying out in Colorado, I think. They do some cool spots. That's really enjoyable to watch too. Yeah, all the show me what you got, guys.
Oh sure. Yeah, absolutely. I was actually watching. I can't think of his full name, but Nurk. Have you seen that new video he did flying the train that everybody's throwing a fit over?
Oh wait, the one where he power loops the train.
He flew under the train, in the boxcar. I mean, oh my God.
Under the bridge.
Dude, did you see
It was
like some big Facebook, and it wasn't even like a quad related page. It was just some random Facebook page, but it got like a couple million views or something.
Yeah, in like about 4 days.
Yeah, that's
I
not
bet
cool.
his.
Yeah, a lot of people are throwing a fit because of what he did and all that, and I mean he didn't hurt anybody, so I don't know. It's it was the craziest flight I've ever seen.
Yeah, all I know is it's a cool video.
Ooh. Yeah, it really is, and it's one of those things where, it's a freight train. If you hit it, the worst thing that's going to happen is the pod's going to be destroyed. It's not going to hurt the train at all. Exactly. I don't, people, whatever, man. Yeah, don't go out and try this at home because
don't
you
fly on trains.
Don't do it, but it's cool to see.
Hashtag ruining the hobby.
That's right.
They call it Nurking the Hobby now.
Nurking.
His nickname's Nurk.
Is it a thing now?
So it's now Nurking the Hobby.
He's now a verb.
Yes.
Nurking.
Hashtag Nurking the Hobby.
He's finally arrived.
Boy.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So is that specifically
what's that?
The deal with flying around trains, or is like diving buildings also considered nurking?
Well, I think it's just anything that's ruining the hobby is now nurking the hobby.
Yeah. Diving buildings was so 6 months ago.
Yeah, that was so 6-8 months ago. Putting stickers on them, stuff like that.
That's ancient history in quad terms.
Yeah, because everything changes so fast in that hobby. It's crazy,
man. It's nuts. Every week, it seems.
Yeah, it's every week, just about. But
you know what? The one thing that's slow I've seen is beta flight. Like, not in terms of its progress. It used to be at a point where every week they're coming out with a new beta flight, but now it's been at like 3 point something. I don't even remember what it was because I updated that so long ago.
Well,
here's the actual.
What is
here's what I don't understand. So when I first started getting into like quads and stuff, beta flight was the thing. Beta flight was the thing, and then all of a sudden everybody's all about clean flight, and then I fall asleep and wake back up, and everybody's back to beta flight. I mean, what happened? What happened to clean flight? I mean,
I haven't seen someone run clean flight for months.
I know, right? It just disappeared. It was like the thing. Everything was clean flight, and then all of a sudden, beta flight. Boom.
Yeah, well, it's now beta flight, race flight, or yes.
Yep, those are really going through that.
Yeah,
that people use.
Yeah, and my poor Electro Hub still got the multi-wii.
I was going to say, are we still flying multi-wii boards? Because I like the way my multi-wii board flew. Like I could fly it without crashing so much. Not like the KK2. I can.
And that's the problem, Pat. It's too slow for everybody now.
I'm too slow for everybody, so it suits me well.
Andres, have you tried putting an FPV cam on the tail of X29 yet?
You know what? We were almost going to do that. So we actually, like, Chad actually made these little things to clip onto the tail with the little Hyperion camera.
Yeah.
But we didn't end up doing it. Because time constraints, I guess. We did do it. But I have the little thing, the little camera, still with the 3D printed attachment on it. So I might try it sometime.
It's fun. I made one using just a like paper binder clip and
nice.
A micro Swift. So it's got a really nice picture, but it's a little bit heavy. And it's got a giant 1,000 milliamp one cell to power it. But yeah, the view from the tail looking out over the forward swept wings is really cool.
Wait, you did FPV on the X29?
Yeah.
No way. Nice.
Yeah, it's fun.
Did you get DVR of that?
No, I don't have I don't have a DVR. I've got, so I was flying with just the goggles that Pat sent me, and then I had my cousin had his goggles, and he was just passing them around the flight field, letting other guys, just kind of look in and see the view. So that was, a lot of fun.
I guess I gotta do it.
So, Mike, I think this question is for you. Elevate FPV on here had a question about thoughts on Steele leaving Rotor Riot. Do you have any comments on that?
He can go look at my video. I made a video about that. If anybody wants to go, I can go put it. Well, I don't know. It's not a public video.
Just put it this way: that video got Mike a spot as a moderator on the Rotor Riot
Facebook page. Well, actually, that didn't at all. It was.
Well, come on.
I saw that video blow up on Facebook, but I never watched the whole thing.
What, mine?
Yeah, I saw it
blow
up on Facebook.
It only got like 500 views on my YouTube, so. But yeah, I'll let that one go because I don't want the FliteTest Community Cast podcast to become a political platform for my thoughts about somebody else. How's that?
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'll leave that one alone. But if you want to message me privately and talk about it, I'll be more than happy to. Because I am still a grumpy old man. And would talk to him about it if you wanted.
I'm going to have to sign off early.
Okay, buddy.
But hey, Andres, it was really great talking. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Ben, thanks for coming on and filling in for Joel, man.
Hey, man.
Yeah, absolutely, buddy.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
All right. Take care, Ben. We'll talk to you, buddy.
I'll catch up with you guys soon.
Yeah.
All right.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
That's a good
Jim,
deal.
don't be calling me diplomatic now. I'm just trying to keep things separate.
Calling you diplomatic. That's an insult. Jim, you
Trying
just
to keep
insulted
the
Mike.
Yeah, Jim, I think I'm going to have to go too now.
Oh
Here's
my!
something I'll say very nice. I think the guy is one heck of a pilot. How's that?
There you go.
Fair enough.
So, Andres, where are you thinking about going to school?
Well, there's the one that's every engineer's dream, MIT, but that's a very far stretch. Otherwise, in Ann Arbor, it's a pretty nice school, and one of my closest friends, Nick, he's actually most likely going to go there too. So that'd be really cool if we both went. And he also flies RC, so we could still fly together if I went there too. But any solid plans on where yet?
Okay, and yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah,
I'm not having about next year, a year, to decide.
Right. Are you? Do you have any idea if you're going to be interning with FliteTest again next summer, or is this just up in the air and not really discussed at this point?
As far as I know, yeah.
Okay. Good.
Josh hasn't said anything about not having me back, and I hope so. I definitely think so.
Well, I think you bring a lot in terms of somebody your age that is so talented and has demonstrated the ability to build some really fantastic airplanes. That's very much a rarity. So I do hope they have you back, because it's not only an opportunity for you, you bring something substantial to the table for them.
Thank you. And also, one thing I want to hit a lot harder, I want to hit this a lot harder next year, is designing planes. The store, like the whole summer, I only came out with the one plane design, and the Gremlin, but do a little bit more next year. Come up with maybe a few, make things a little bit more interesting now.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that one plane design you came out with is from what I understand, I haven't built one yet, but from what I understand, the most advanced flight test plane marketed yet. So I think you pretty much hit a home run with that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's a good flying airplane, and it's unconventional.
The one problem with it is that it's kind of for a niche group of people. But other than that, yeah, I really like the design too.
Well,
I guess that's what I made on this.
But we have been discussing this, people here in the flight test community for a few years now, is that, we feel like there's a need for more advanced flight test models out there, and that's the first one that feels like it's starting to fill that need. So that's fantastic. So I don't think don't look at it as a niche or just a small group of people. Yeah, flight test it definitely appeals to people first starting out, and it's a great way to get into the hobby. And their planes fly very well, so it's a way to sustain in the hobby as well. But I think there's a market there for these more advanced models, and it's been discussions going around for years with people about that kind of thing.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, Josh said the same thing. Yeah.
The forums are notorious for wanting, people wanting more advanced, something a little more challenging, because, people are, while they do love the simple cub and all those things, I think as people get more involved in building and things of that nature, I think they're wanting to challenge themselves, and they see that they see the satisfaction of building something that is more challenging and flying something that's more challenging.
Well, you see that proliferating on the forum now, but whereas before, a couple years ago, you didn't see too many scratch builds by community members. Now, that's kind of exploding, and you're seeing some really cool work being done. It's because these people are advancing in the hobby. So
yeah,
it's a growth process that flight test could tap into.
I have a question for you guys. Is there anything in particular that you'd like to see as a design? Or any style of plane?
Me personally, I'd like to see some of the different civil aircraft out there, other than a Cessna 172 or a 150 or a Cub. I mean, while I like those planes and I think they're fantastic, but some of the newer stuff, maybe some of the more advanced. I mean, it's real tough until until Flight Test comes out with a EDF package. It's going to be very difficult to get into some of the newer fighter airplanes or anything like that. I would love to see some kind of even some of the old bombers. I mean,
I think somebody should design a MiG-21.
You know what, Pat? That is a sharp looking plane, I have to say. Well, except for that part.
Wow.
Flappy nose.
Yeah.
What happened to it?
It crashed.
It was its son's football throw.
Yeah, my okay. So I had my son toss it for the maiden, and he like with 3 tosses he put a rotation on it, and I was it just and as soon as it did that, it killed. As soon as it snapped right, it killed all the airspeed, and so it was. Then actually Carl Leidick was up this way, and he was hanging out, and I had him throw it. In the first throw, it snapped again, but this time I kept it in the air, and it made a nice arcing turn straight into my neighbor's fence. And then on the next toss, I think what happened was in hitting the fence, the battery jostled, and it kind of impacted the foam. So when I threw it, the battery slid back, and it just went straight up, and then just came straight down on the nose. So there's some things I want to do differently with it, design-wise. So I'll be revisiting that over the winter and building a second version that will be overall better. I mean, that was the prototype. So
I mean, it is a nice looking plane.
well, thank you.
Yeah.
I like the MiG 21. It's an interesting looking airplane. So it should fly.
Yeah.
You should make the front nose cone thing movable too.
Well, right, the shot cone. Yeah, I plan on it. Well, I can put a shot cone in there as long as it's not larger in diameter than the motor itself. You know, because we have to deal with the fan swept area of the EDF, and we have to be able to get enough air in there. But yeah, it definitely will have that shot cone in it.
Nice.
In the final version, it's kind of important for the looks.
Yep. And then, of course, for me, some of the other planes, of course, are the multi-engine, any multi-engine plane, you know, B-17s, B-24s. I like stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
Then it would be pretty sick with 4 CPAC motors.
Yeah.
Dude,
that would
imagine,
be awesome.
imagine at FliteTest or something, just a whole fleet of them flying with, you know, Mustangs escorting them. So,
a bunch of red tails? Absolutely.
Yeah.
There we go.
Axis fighters, you know, combat with.
Well, you just need to scale down your 109.
Yeah.
Well, there we go.
There you go.
I might as well just fly the existing one.
Yep, do that. Back some ME-262s and just go for it.
Yeah.
That's right. Focke-Wulf.
Yeah.
190.
ME-262.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
It would be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'd be like revisiting the what was it? The Baby Baron and the Baby Brit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah, that was
a
cool.
blast.
I think the Baby Baron something bomber, Eartha bomber.
The Gotha bomber, yeah.
It was a Gothic
portrait built.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Angle, yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So yeah, absolutely. So is there anything else that you want to talk about, Andres, that we haven't touched on?
Honestly, I'm not really sure.
I mean, do you want to make fun of anybody out at FliteTest that you worked with while you were there?
Yeah, you got any good stories that you could
you could share that maybe would embarrass somebody, but not too bad that they get mad?
Oh man, I feel like I have a bunch, but just none of them are coming to me right now.
Yeah.
Man. You guys kind of put me on the spot here.
Well, that's what we do.
Yeah, that's our whole point.
We're trying to get you off guard to divulge information that you wouldn't otherwise divulge by you know what I'm saying. We blindside.
Technique.
Yes, that's how we interrogate.
And for people that don't know, this young man right here has got one heck of a sense of humor too. I got to see some of that when I was up there on the Wednesday or Thursday before you left, when you were making that little forward-backward plane.
Yeah, so I tried to make a.
Yeah, Mike was telling me about that.
So,
this sounds completely ridiculous.
It was pretty ridiculous.
Stefan came to me one day with a little drawing on a Post-it note of a plane that had a tail. So his thought was to make an RC plane that could fly forwards and then automatically in midair switch direction and fly backwards. So he challenged me to build something that could do that. So I tried. My first one that Mike actually saw was like this weird sort of square diamond sort of plane. Having a plane that flies both forward and backwards is two things. There's three things. First of all, CG, right? Because CG is normally different from one way to the other. And then
right, you got to move that CG so that
exactly right. And then I was working against only a 6-channel receiver, and I didn't have an extra channel to put another servo to shift some weight, so I just had the CG smack dab in the middle of the thing. So that didn't work too well.
And
was it pitch
and we had to keep
by any chance?
We had to keep taping it on too.
So.
Wait.
Some other things are difficult.
you're telling me FliteTest doesn't have just like random, I don't know, 12-channel radios laying around there?
Well, dude, the only thing I could find was a 6-channel receiver. I couldn't find any receivers on more than 6 channels. I could have easily done it on my transmitter, just the receiver didn't have that capability. Because the other thing, I had 2 motors, 2 ESCs, right? And one goes the other direction. And I had them on a switch, so that only one of them was operating at any given time.
Okay.
Also, I had to put control surfaces, elevons, on both sides, and then turn one side off when the other side was working. And so that took up all the mix on the transmitter too. And then the other weird thing is that the vertical area, like the rudder, whatever you want to call it, the vertical area has to be greater behind the CG than it is in front of the CG. If you think about it, like if the plane is skewing one direction and more of the vertical surface is in front, or if it's equal, like it's just gonna flip around.
Right. When it's behind the center of gravity, it's self-correcting. When it's ahead, it's like a positive feedback. It'll just snap around.
Right. But since I couldn't move my CG, I was working against that too. So yeah, that was just a mess.
It was pretty awesome to watch.
That's hilarious.
We ended up punching nose weight to it, and basically.
But what was the nose?
Oh, sorry. We ended up taping a bunch of weight to one side of the plane. There you go. But it came to a point where I gave up on making it fly both ways and just try to make it fly forward. Didn't do. But yeah, so that was a mess. Afterwards, though, I actually designed a nut ball, which I think will be a lot more responsible for doing the same sort of thing with forward and backwards flight. Actually, I've had the airframe for like a month and I haven't done anything to it yet. I just need to find like a weekend or something, just a few hours to sit down and finish it off. But with that thing, well, I guess the weird square delta thing was also 3 channels, but it doesn't have elevons. The mixing in the radio will be a lot easier to do, and therefore I'll be able to have an extra channel to put an extra servo on to shift some weight.
Yeah.
So hopefully with that one, I can shift the CG fly both ways. We'll see then.
That's fantastic.
Oh, I look forward to seeing that.
Next year.
Yeah, I promised Stefan I would do it, so I have to do it sometime. Yeah. Actually, I do have a story. It's a bit of a weird one. So, like a week or two after I already left on FliteTest, something like that, yeah. And then I went back to the shop one day to hang out with the guys, and by the middle of the day, it was just me and Stefan there, and we started flying the sea duck that was at the shop, and irresponsible with it, doing weird inverted rolling stuff over the trees. And I got it stuck on the tallest tree there at the top of it, and we couldn't get it down. Tried throwing like logs at it, shoes at it, stuff. It just wouldn't come down. So we ended up making this huge pole, probably like 30 feet, 40 feet long. This is like a piece of steel conduit pipe and a piece of 2x4 wood and this FliteTest flag for like racing quads and stuff. Stefan couldn't reach it by himself, but I'm like shorter than Stefan, which is saying a lot because Stefan isn't tall. But obviously I wouldn't be able to reach it by myself. Getting on Stefan's shoulders and holding the pole. It took like 20 minutes, half an hour to get down, but we finally got it down, and I was on his shoulders, and I just kept laughing, and he just kept laughing. We almost fell over a few times. It was bad. And the worst part was we had this huge, 20-pound thing hanging above us that if I dropped it from laughing through both of us, that was stressful and funny at the same time.
I could see that going on too.
Well, where's that compressed air cannon they have when you need it?
I don't know why we didn't use it. That would have been a really good idea.
Well, I think TJ generally hides that, doesn't he?
I have no idea. I guess it just didn't really come to mind. That would have been so convenient too. Just load the thing up and fire a beanbag at it instead of taking a bunch
with
of
the rope on it. Exactly. Yeah. Well, call me next time that happens, and I'll give you some ideas.
The worst part is though we didn't have a third person there to record the thing because it was just hilarious.
Oh,
yeah, that would have been gold right there.
The other thing is
that had to been one of the few times I wasn't up there after you left.
Yeah. Man, that was hilarious. Even if we set up like a GoPro or something to record it,
oh, that would.
It's probably something a little better to keep private, I guess.
Nah, that would have been video gold.
Nah.
I'm going to think I was sitting on top of his shoulders. It was contact, you know. It was strange. It was really strange.
Well, Jim is saying in the chat that you should have heard what TJ was saying about you, and you ought to be able to strike back now. So.
Oh no! What do you say?
I have no idea. He's not telling what he said. He's just saying.
I need to find out what he said right now.
I'm sure Jim may be stirring the pot slightly, but
maybe.
Yeah, that might be what it was. I don't know. Hey, if he did say something though, I'd love to know what he said because I'm sure it's funny.
With TJ, it's hard to say because there's not a lot he won't say.
Well, he has to somehow live with that many kids. I mean, that's got to affect him.
Oh my God, yeah.
Dude, have you guys met his kids before?
No. I've just seen videos and pictures.
I've only met two of them, Jackson and Aubrey, I think. They came to the shop one day. It was just hilarious. They were running around, and I'm telling you right now, if you met them, you would not understand a word they're saying. It's like a primitive language that only they. I have no idea what they're saying. Somehow understands it.
Well, I'll have to ask him about that. I will absolutely have to ask him about that.
And they were running around when I was working on the flute top plan. They broke a couple of ribs, but to be fair, I broke like 5. So
of their ribs?
No. The flute top ribs.
I know you wouldn't beat the kids.
Well, I've seen some of the videos that TJ has posted.
God, yeah.
I'm telling you right now, I'm surprised all those kids don't have some broken bones. Those kids are crazy.
High energy, man.
Yeah, they're funny, and then they have a good time with them. So that's what's important,
Yeah.
But oh my God, they're funny. But
what
okay.
Mike, you've probably seen the one wheel at the shop, right?
The what?
The one wheel at the shop?
Oh yeah. The one that Mikey broke his collarbone with.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what he broke it on?
Yeah. He fell off of it.
Okay. He broke it off of. Okay.
Yeah. He was on it, and then he broke it when he wasn't anymore.
That earth is hard to climb.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna call Alex out right now. But
I saw a picture of Diana Fury was riding the thing down the driveway.
Yes, I saw the video of that, and she actually did pretty good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we were in Pittsburgh. Was it Pittsburgh? Wherever the place was where Flute Talk was, I don't even remember.
Flute Talk was in Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Pittsburgh. Okay, yeah. And Alex was riding the one wheel around, and he was going really fast. He was cooking. And he tilted it too far, like beyond its max point, and the tip of the thing caught the ground, tumbling. It was pretty bad. I mean, he wasn't like seriously hurt or anything, but it's just
Did it launch him?
It was more like a, like he just rolled.
I like how everybody continues to talk about how big his head is. Because I was with them Monday night, and they went out to the airport to fly their paramotors, Josh and Chad Lewis. And of course, immediately they started talking about Alex and how they had a hard time finding a helmet, and they were rolling the foam out so it would fit over his head. Oh my God, I was laughing so hard.
Dude, that reminds me. You know how for the food pod thing, our theme was like some sort of aviators and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they didn't actually get to wear their little aviator helmets on the deck because they had to wear the Red Bull.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Some sort of regulation rule. So they couldn't wear their actual hats that they bought. I seen Alex trying to fit into his because like it fit perfectly for everyone else, and he was just trying to pull it out of his head. It was hilarious.
Well, between the hair and the size of his head, he just having a hard time all the way around. Poor Alex. Sorry, Alex. We don't mean to talk about you like that, but you know, everybody else was, so we might as well join in on the fun.
So we're gonna just hop on the bandwagon, Alex.
That's right.
Yep. Big-headed.
And he knows it. He said it before himself. I've heard him say it. So you got all your homework done?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Sure.
That's good. So I guess I'm pretty much done.
Well, you know, what have we talked about? We've talked about Andrus's experience at FliteTest. We've talked about his future plans, his beginning in RC. We talked with Ben about his fascination with retractable landing gear on full scale aircraft, and we've talked about Alex's giant head.
And the primitive language of TJ's children.
That TJ can speak. Oh, that's good stuff. Man.
That is too funny.
I have one more thing to add though about my whole experience at FliteTest.
Sure.
I'm probably most thankful introducing me to Chick-fil-A. Over the course of this summer, I've had Chick-fil-A, and we went there like 50 times over the course of the summer.
Really?
Probably not 50 times, but you know what I'm saying.
No, I'm talking about the first time ever.
Yeah, I've never had Chick-fil-A before. Also, it was the first time I had Chipotle.
Oh, so when you write that essay about what you did last summer, it's all going to be about Chick-fil-A and Chipotle.
Yeah,
for sure. And Mission Barbecue. That place is amazing.
Oh, Mission! Yeah, they eat Mission Barbecue a lot.
Yeah, yeah. It's hard to find good barbecue here in Pennsylvania, but Mission Barbecue does a good job.
Well, I tell you what, if you guys ever get to Kansas City, I'll take you some real barbecue.
Well, you know you're better damn well, buddy.
Mm-hmm. I'm still waiting for you to get to Kansas City.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. You just got to hop on that plane with Chip Hunter and come down, man. You got to.
Well, you know what? Yeah. What the heck, Chip? Why haven't you thrown me in the?
So yeah, absolutely. Well, I guess they could get you. He could get you down here and stop on the way, like in in the Canton Akron Airport, and pick up Andrus, and both of you guys come down.
Yeah, and we'll go down and eat
some barbecue.
Eat some barbecue. Yeah, I'll treat, man. I'll treat both of you guys, absolutely.
All right, I'll talk to Chip about that. I'll get him right on that. Quest Diagnostics is going to give free flights to me and Andrus. That's going to be nice of him.
Just make sure I'm in town and I'm not traveling, all right?
Well, that's never.
Well, I'm hoping after this week it slows down at least for a couple of weeks, man. I need a rest.
Gotcha.
But yeah, come down, man. I'd love to take you guys out to eat some barbecue, and we got surprisingly to be in the middle of the country. We got some of the best Cajun food around.
Ooh, I love Cajun food.
Mm-hmm.
And welcome to the FliteTest Food Community Cast.
Network.
That's right. Ooh, I love me some crawfish.
Hey, we love food, man.
Ooh, I had
all about the food.
Wendy and I went out to dinner the other night. I had this Rasta pasta. It was like it was fettuccine, and over it was shrimp and peppers and onions and garlic and this jerk sauce. It was
Oh,
so
I bet that was good.
Oh my god, it was good.
A food test.
Yeah, welcome to food test.
Food test.
Hey,
Community test.
I think
That's
I
a
could
good
do
name.
that. Food test, food fest. Yeah, I like it.
Oh, can we have a yeah? AeroGeek16 says, can we have a banquet at FliteFest East 18? Yes, let's do it.
Yes. Challenge even.
Jim will bring the lobsters.
Yes, he will. And he just left too.
Yeah,
I'll bring the dumplings.
Oh,
Okay.
Bring them. Always ready. We'll have to stop at Chick-fil-A in the morning, though, and get some of those little Chick-fil-A
sure.
biscuits. Oh, my God. Those things are so good.
Edible plane challenge.
Edible plane challenge. Well, let's see.
Yeah. Our,
Peter, yeah.
Made a edible plane.
yeah. So did oh god, RC Good, Ringaboo RC. So did those guys.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
They made them out of like gingerbread cookies. It didn't go well.
Yeah, well, Peter didn't go real good, but it did fly for a minute.
Oh yeah.
It's like a giant nut ball
I mean,
tortilla.
he had to launch it off of or drop it off of a Phantom, though. You know?
Yeah, he had to drop it off
That's
the
like
Phantom to
halfway
get
cheating
it.
right there.
That's definitely cheating.
That wasn't halfway. That was all the way cheating.
Okay. All the way cheating. There you go.
Oh man!
There really is no.
Bring back the breakfast bomber.
Yeah, well, okay. I'm building one right now. So this is my next torch right here.
Oh yeah, mine's sitting over there. I got the wing sitting there. The fuse is sitting over there. I haven't finished it up, and I really need to.
I love that airplane. That's a great airplane.
It's a big airplane.
It's a nice. I just love the way it flies.
Yeah.
Thinking about it, I've actually never flown a Storch.
What?
What?
Son? We need to fix that.
I just never flown one. I guess.
It is it's a baby doll of an airplane. It's a great airplane. So much fun. You can just do silly stuff with it all day long.
I bet. Yeah. One time I saw some guy powered his off of a Blue Wonder, like a tiny little.
What? Go!
24-gram motor.
I guess.
Crazy.
I mean, they will fly ridiculously slow. They will.
Matthew Allen says he has a fleet of them to serve breakfast Saturday morning. We'll all need helmet trays though.
Just a bucket on your head. Just tie that sucker on, and then just run around.
There you go.
I want French toast.
French toast.
Combine the breakfast with like the giant claw thing they had on the quad. You got like a
absolutely.
buffet. You know?
That was a cool episode. I like that. Was fun. The claw.
Yeah. So are you? I mean, since you're still in contact with him, do you maybe help with some ideas for episodes and stuff like that? Still yet, or
not really? I never really came up with any episode ideas. And I guess that's something I gotta work on too. Huh?
Yeah, I think you should because you're pretty imaginative. You got a lot of talent. I don't know why they wouldn't listen to what you'd want to see.
Yeah, next year we'll see.
What would you want to see?
Try some fun. That is a great question.
That's why I asked it.
There you go. That Patty's smart.
Pretty fart smelling.
Yeah, he is.
I really like the old sort of challenge episodes. So something with the challenge, where they're within a certain amount of time to do a specific task, and then seeing which can do it the best.
Yeah, that would be fun.
There you go.
So one exact test.
You and Stefan in a slap test, a slap challenge. Yes, that needs to happen.
He has
that
much
needs to happen. But
your hands and mine.
You can outfly Stefan and outbuild him.
Wait, you said like slap. Where does the slap come into the whole flying thing?
Oh, did you? Have you never seen the old?
At the end. Okay, never mind. I thought you meant just straight up
David
slapping.
Vinstone versus Josh.
No. You have to do something, and then whoever wins gets to
It's
slap
just
the other
like
guy.
Chinese tennis or whatever it's called. Like where you just slap each other's hands until you can't go anymore?
Oh, no, nothing like
Okay,
that.
yeah.
No. I don't want to see anybody get hurt.
Yeah, no, I'm not volunteering for that, you know?
That's funny. Yeah, the old challenges was great, you know. Aero Geek was just saying, you know, how good they were, and I really like some of the older stuff from, you know, when they were trying to do crazy stuff like the cinder block airplane and Frankenplane and just all that
Or even
kind
like
of stuff.
Josh making the mailbox fly, you know?
That was cool.
That was cool. Yeah, that was silly. I liked it.
See, now, avoid a plane that's carrying the transmitter that controls the plane, but we have another transmitter that controls servos that's controlling the transmitter on the plane.
Oh, now there's a challenge. That's actually awesome.
Compounding latency.
Yeah, I wonder how much latency would be there.
DSMX is what, 11 milliseconds? So really only 22 milliseconds.
Which is still pretty low.
Well, yeah, I guess you have to factor in the servos.
But then you have to do another limbo challenge.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. it can't be hard to do at all, right?
Dude, and then plus a really laggy FPV system.
Could you imagine, like, just trying to dial in the stick movement on your transmitter to match the stick movement in the transmitter that's transmitting to the plane? That would be ridiculous.
That would be insane. Or even just have the transmitter flying in another plane that's controlling a separate plane without the transmitter, something like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you said there, how that worked. It didn't really make sense in my brain, but I like
two separate. Yeah, I don't know. Crazy idea.
Yeah, that's awesome. So your P40, I assume that's going to be foam board?
Yeah, for sure.
So when you built your P38 and the 109 was sorry, I just kind of changed directions there.
Squirrel.
Yeah, exactly. Were those just kind of like internal formers skinned with foam board, or was it more of a fold and fly kind of thing?
Nope, it was the first one.
Okay, gotcha.
It had like a center piece basically that went along the whole fuselage, and then formers that slid onto it. And then basically just on the formers. So yeah, exactly what you said the first time.
Okay, cool.
Cool. Especially the P38 was pretty challenging too, because I didn't even know how to use CAD then. So everything was by hand, and that was just a pain.
Wow.
Absolute pain.
Wow, dude.
Like if I had if I had the ability to draw it up in CAD, I could have done that whole thing like maybe half the time. It would have been a lot easier. Plus, I just got a 3D printer, which is going to be super nice for the whatever future builds I do, because there's so many little parts, easy to draw up on the computer real quick and print out, rather than trying to make it out of whatever you might have laying around. Exciting too.
Yeah.
Awesome, dude.
Wow. Well, I'm kind of out of questions.
I have to go to the bathroom.
Well, thanks for sharing, Pat.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, put it out there.
Okay, well,
so,
then.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and wrap this thing up then.
Yeah, I was going to say on that note, I think it's time to go.
Literally.
Literally time to go. Yeah. But, yeah, Andrus, thanks so much for coming on, buddy. Anytime you want to come on and talk or have a good time or whatever you want to do, man, let us know. We've been more than happy to have you back on.
Thanks so much for having me on, guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you, buddy. I'm really glad you came on.
You've
been on our... What's that?
I'm just sad I didn't get to talk to Joel. We couldn't make it.
Yeah.
I think he had some friends in town and they were doing something. So.
Yeah. Joel likes to pretend he has
or
friends.
He just doesn't like me. I don't know.
He's probably over at Disney World just enjoying himself. That's all he's doing.
Yeah, his life's his vacation.
Yeah.
Pretty much, living in Orlando.
I don't know.
No.
Living next to Disney, it has to be pretty annoying sometimes, though, with all the fireworks. I mean, it's probably cool like the first month you're living there, but after a while.
I don't know. They're there all the time.
They're there all the time. So, all right, man. Good luck with your school this year. You know, I'm guessing you do pretty well grade-wise.
Is that like a rhetorical question? Or?
No. Well, you were supposed to answer in one way or the other.
Okay.
So you all right?
Yes.
Okay, you all right at school? I figured as much. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine him doing very bad in school, just seeing everything that he's done, you know, outside of school. So
pretty talented guy.
Thanks.
Yep.
Very. And we look forward, you know, again, hopefully, yes, the invitation is always open for you to, you know, be at FliteTest and working there and all that. I mean, I think they'd be crazy to let somebody like you not come out there and work. So
Mike just opened FliteTest up to you indefinitely.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I think they should. I think they'd be crazy if they didn't take you every chance they got.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure Josh feels the same way. So, you know, and the rest.
Josh has mentioned to me a couple times that I should just drop out of high school and work there full time, but I'm like, my dad would be pretty mad.
Dad, I'm not going to go to college. I'm just going to work.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna finish high school.
I don't think it's necessary. It's just not for me, Dad.
Yeah, it's just not for me, Dad. Yeah, I bet that would go over like a lead balloon.
I'd drive out to Ohio and knock you around if I had to.
Yeah. But anyway, again, Andrus, thanks so much for being on. Pat, it's always good having you with us, buddy.
Good to be here, bud.
Absolutely. And to all of the people that are watching and the people that will listen, however they listen, thanks again for listening to us.
Hang on.
Crazy people.
Before we go away, apparently RC After Hours is now live. So,
Chris, Mike, Andre, and you guys, I can't believe you're doing a night podcast.
They're live. Let's see if hang on.
Yeah. I'll have
to go on the live stream and
Chris, Mike, Andre.
They're live. Oh wait, that's us.
What are you doing, Pat?
I usually don't know.
Oh, they're doing the Bushmule review tonight.
First week, we were really on the fence about it, you know, with those windows and stuff. Because we'd seen the one.
Where's cooling?
The Flex Innovation one with the clear
windows.
Listen, you guys should just take their whole podcast and put it out before they do.
Here's what I'm thinking.
Hilarious.
We should do like a Mystery Science 2000 kind of thing where we just comment on their podcast.
Yeah. Oh, here goes Andre again talking about his F-16 that he crashed.
Yeah.
You have to log in under fake emails and then post random stuff. You know, so they don't know who it is.
Oh no, I would want him to know it was me. Absolutely, I'd want him to know it was me.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, well, we're going to go ahead and sign off. Guys, thanks for listening. To everyone out there, just stay safe, keep looking up, and blue skies. We'll see you next time on the FliteTest Community Podcast. Take care, all. See ya. Andrus, thanks.
See ya, everybody. Good night.
All right, stop broadcast. 3.
Yeah, that was fun.
2.
Yeah,